Falcons. He's probably the only quarterback in the league that wears them. You're right, Paul. Look at that. Right up the middle. He sees it. He glances to the sidelines to see where the first down is, and then he hits the turf.
Longest run from scrimmage by either team tonight, that 14-yarder by Chris Miller. There hasn't been much for Olandis Gary. His running average tonight around 2.5 yards as they have been laying in wait for him. Terrell Davis, who blew out his knee. They expect him back for mini camp, certainly training camp, from that ACL injury. They've had 4 of those to starters.
This is where the chess game between Jim Lind, who we saw before, Mike Shanahan, and Gary Kubiak is going on. If they come after Chris Miller again, do you get the one-on-one matchup you're looking for?
McCaffrey at the bottom of the screen, Smith at the top. Miller to Carswell, and he couldn't hold it. Excellent coverage by James Logan, who was all over.
One of the problems, when we did the Oakland game here earlier this year, the problem they felt, that Seattle Seahawks defense felt, was they missed a lot of communication on the defensive side of the ball because of the noise here trying to disrupt the other team's offense. So all week, they've had these loudspeakers about this loud going in their dome while they were practicing so that the defensive guys could work on hand signals so they wouldn't have a problem with their communication.
Denver only has 1 timeout remaining. This could be a critical series for them. They might have to go for it, and they just used the last timeout. No hesitation by the Denver sideline. They'll go for it on 4th and 10.
Darrell Williams had a shot at that one.
Now, the last time, Joe, they put McCaffrey in motion to try to free him up.
I think what you do is you try and, I don't think motion solves anything because it's going to take too long. What you do is you work to a slot side. You've got
Rod Smith is in the slot.
And you also have Billy Miller outside and Rod Smith. Bring McCaffrey over. Try and put the ball in the hole in the middle to McCaffrey.
Blitz is coming. Incomplete. Somehow it got through and was almost caught by Chamberlain.
You know who did the job? I'm telling you, Cortez Kennedy. With a double team on him, he was right in Miller's face. Cortez Kennedy has 1 shot left. And, you talk about sucking it up and going one more time. Watch 96. Here comes Cortez. Schlereth's got him, supposedly. He takes Schlereth all the way back to the quarterback and forces that sidearm throw.
You'll also see Chad Brown back there almost making the interception.
And John Kitna knows they just slammed the door on the Denver Broncos. At least, well, they haven't locked it. They've slammed it.
Mike Holmgren's football team has grown up, and that man has sold himself out as much as he could tonight.
Denver cannot stop the clock. The 2-minute warning is the only thing that will. Waters makes sure he doesn't go outside. So he'd be forced out of bounds.
Remember what he told us before this year, Joe, and he said, if this team needs to win with me not being here, then I'm willing to leave. He said, I want to see this team win. This guy is something else.
And you put it exactly right. It was totally unselfish. He's been frustrated for years not being able to make the playoffs. But he said, they can still get something for me to help this team. If you need to trade me, trade me.
And you look at his numbers, 5.5 sacks from a tackle whose job it is to keep people off the linebackers, as well as the 2 interceptions.
He's been a load tonight. We have reached the 2-minute warning. 2017 Seahawks. If Seattle does not get a first down, Denver would get the ball back with maybe 30 seconds to go, but Ricky Waters trying to put an end to that. Let's go to Solomon Wilcott. Solomon.
Yeah, Mike, the noise level here inside the Kingdome tonight has been deafening. Right now I have a decibel meter which measures the noise level here inside the Kingdome. On the 3rd quarter touchdown by Sean Dawkins, well, the levels reach 110 decibels. It's equivalent to a power tool. On the interception in the 2nd quarter by Kerry Joseph, well, the levels reach 115, equivalent to a guitar amplifier. The touchdown by Derek Mays, it reached 120 decibels, Mike.
Tell you what, you can't hear anywhere in this play. 3rd and 3. The clock will continue to run as they do not get the first down. They will let this one run all the way down, Paul, before they punt.
They're very quiet when the offense gets the ball.
Yes, they are.
Very respectful fans.
Yes,
well, this is really where the 12th man started. Out here they had the wave and everything, and this dome was really the first place that you really appreciated the fact of how loud things could get.
This would be the first time since 1984 that Seattle had been able to start the season 7-2. You don't think Mike Holmgren has made a difference? It has been enormous. He's one of the guys who, you know, when he goes somewhere, it will turn around in a heartbeat. He just knows how to win. And now he is in control of everything as the general manager and
in front of you so that you can make a play on the ball if you have to.
Boy, they're not doing that. They've got one deep safety, and that's it.
Well, wait a minute. Bellamy's on his way back now.
they need at least 40 yards for a long field goal try. Miller just throws it as far as he can. McCaffrey made the catch. The clock is running. They got to get up to spike the ball.
They'll never get it.
They've got a chance. Holy cow, what a finish.
Wow. Wow.
They just couldn't get there in time after Miller hung it up and McCaffrey made another huge play.
The problem you run into it, even with that much time on the clock, with 25 seconds, is it takes everybody so long to get down the field. Watch. They're on the 20-yard line. Now, the offensive line is blocking. They're blocking. They're back around the 10-yard line. Ed McCaffrey makes this play 40 yards down the field. Well, I don't know too many offensive linemen who run 40 yards in under 11 seconds.
If they could have made it to spike the ball and stop the clock, as you see Chris Miller's disgust with not being able to get there, it would have been a 56, 57-yard field goal try for Jason Elam. And remember, he's the guy who tied Tom Dempsey's record last year, 63 yards. He'd have had a shot, and John Kitna's family just loved it as much as Chris Miller hated it. He came so close to a shot for his second win as a starting quarterback. Our final score, the Seahawks 20, the Broncos 17. Coming up next, Sports Center with Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen. All the latest news, scores, and highlights for Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Solomon Wilcox, and our entire ESPN crew. This is Mike Patrick. Good night from Seattle.